We welcome you to this broadcast of boys varsity basketball on NKTelco Sports. We're at Russia Local Schools where the Fort Loramie Redskins will take on the Russia Raiders. Tonight's game is brought to you by the following sponsors: Keyhole Pizza, First National Bank, Precision Strip, Emerson Copeland, Carriage Works, Grand Lake Health, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric Automation, Minster Bank, Pratt Industries, New Knoxville Supply, Wagner's IGA, Wilson Health, Winners Meats, Jewelry Barn, and NKTelco. Good evening, everyone. My name is Craig Fissinger, and with me is my broadcast partner tonight, Tanya Hammonds. Tanya, it's the final night of SCAL boys basketball, and 3 of the games are going on around the league. I think we've got the best of them all.
We absolutely do, Craig. You know, Jackson Center is facing Houston this evening, which in terms of record should favor the Tigers' way. And the Raiders and the Loramie, and a rival matchup for a share of the league title. It doesn't get much better than this.
All right, well, we're about 4.5 minutes from tip-off in that varsity contest. Prior to this, we had a junior varsity game, and in that one, Russia won by the final of 44-28. Leading the way for the Raiders was sophomore Jackson Grogine with 17 points, and for the Redskins, it was sophomore Ty Kemper with 14 points. Tanya and I will preview both schools here tonight, and we'll start with the home team from Russia. They are led by interim head coach Spencer Cordonier, who is in his 4th season overall of running this boys program. Coach Cordonier has a current career record on the boys side of 72-21 for a 77% win percentage this season for Russia, who is state-ranked number 5 in this week's AP poll. They have a record of 18-2 overall and 10-1 in the SCAL. That league record puts them, as Tanya said, in a tie for first place with Jackson Center, who also plays tonight with that road trip, as she said, at Houston. Russia most recently picked up a couple wins last weekend with victories over both Botkins last Friday and Ansonia on Saturday. Tanya, this Russia team was banged up for a couple weeks with injuries to 3 starters in Hayden Quinter, Braden Monin, and Zane Shappy. Raider fans that I talked to were obviously concerned. However, all 3 of those starters played last weekend, some of them more sparingly than others. And we saw the emergence of sophomore Benjamin York, who had 16 points on Friday, followed by 14 on Saturday to lead the Raiders. I think those same Raider fans that I talked to were breathing a little bit more easily when the weekend was over.
Absolutely. When you can see the emergence of the underclassmen in big games like that, it gives you a sense of a little bit of relief, because sometimes you just don't know how long those injuries are going to linger on. Fortunately for the Raiders, those injuries are happening right before tournament draw. Drawing happened last weekend. You come to a league matchup. What does it look like tomorrow night? Now you're facing another ranked opponent on Saturday evening. Then you have a couple days just to relax, because traditionally the first couple rounds of your tournament play tend to be a little lesser opponent than the Raiders and the Redskins see in Shelby County Athletic League play. So it was awesome to see Benjamin emerge the way he did, and fortunately those injuries don't seem like they're going to linger on too long, so the Raiders should be ready to go come Thursday night when they take on Triad over at Piqua High School.
All right, well, that was the Russia Raiders. Now let's talk about the visitors tonight from Fort Loramie. They are led by head coach Corey Britton, who is now in his 9th season overall with the Redskins program. Coach Britton has an overall record at Fort Loramie of 156-71 for a 69% win percentage. This season, the Redskins are 16-5 overall, including 7-4 in the SCAL. That currently has them in 3rd place, 1 game ahead of Botkins. Fort Loramie is on a 3-game win streak, and the last 2 of those 3 wins were against a couple of the better teams in the MAC, beating Coldwater last Saturday night, and on Tuesday they went to overtime before topping New Bremen. If we look at a couple of the individual Redskins that played well in those games, at the top of the list is no doubt senior Caleb Maurer. In the Coldwater game, Caleb had 33 points, and on Tuesday versus New Bremen, he followed it up with 27 points. A couple other players that had double figures in both those games were senior Ethan Kaiser with 16 points on each night, and then senior Logan Eilerman had 12 points on Saturday, followed by 11 points on Tuesday. Tanya, these 2 schools got together for a girls' game at the Claire C. Nouveau a week ago, and that was a thriller. Most of the time when it's Russia versus Fort Loramie, you can throw the records out the window, because this rivalry means so much to the players and the fans.
Absolutely. Even as a player, when I played played in high school, it's the same thing. These two, no matter what the records are, going to give it everything you got, and the Redskins would love to be a spoiler and costing the Raiders a championship share, but the Raiders are going to come out fired up, ready to go, and this is going to be a fantastic matchup.
All right, and if you're wondering how this matchup between Russia and Fort Loramie turned out in their first meeting back on January 3rd, the Raiders couldn't have started any better after bolting out to a 16-0 lead. And after one quarter of play, it was 23-2. At the end of the night, Russia picked up the 17-point victory by the final of 47-30. Leading the scoring for Russia was Braylon Cordonier with 14 points. Braden Monin had 9 points. Felix Francis with 8, and Hayden Quinter with 7. The top Redskin was Ryan Holscher with 13. And we'll quickly run through those SCAL standings for you. In case you didn't know about them, Russia and Jackson Center both tied on top at 10-1. You've got Fort Loramie in third place at 7-4. Botkins is sitting in fourth place at 6-5. Anna in fifth at 4-7. Sixth place is Howson at 2-9. And the Fairlawn Jets have actually finished up their league schedule at 0-12. So we're getting set for tonight's national anthem. We'll be back in a moment with your starting lineups. Russia versus Fort Loramie is next on NKTelco Sports.
I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital, with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
Russia versus Fort Loramie getting set to tip here next on NKTelco Sports. I'd like to thank our additional sponsors, Burke Petroleum, Chiltex LLC, Cy Sweeterman Inc., Dickman Supply, Hometown Opportunity, Hulsman Automotive, Park National Bank, SecureCom, and St. Henry Bank. Also like to let you know that our starting lineup coming up here in a moment, sponsored by Emerson Copeland. All timeouts tonight come from Precision Strip. Your Russia Live View sponsor on your screen there is Jewelry Barn. Our scoreboard is sponsored by First National Bank. Coming up will be our Keys to the Game, sponsored by Keyhole Pizza. And our player of the game at the conclusion of this contest will be courtesy of NKTelco. Now it is time for our Keyhole Pizza Keys to the Game. And if you're the Russia Raiders, your key to the game has to be stopping senior Caleb Maurer. As we said in our pregame, Caleb had 33 points in that game on Saturday versus Coldwater and 27 points in the game on Tuesday versus New Bremen. Russia will have to find a way to contain him. And if you're the Fort Loramie Redskins, you can't let those Raiders get off to the fast start that they got off to the first time these two teams met. Russia was off to that 16-0 start over at Fort Loramie and ended the first quarter up 23-2. So Fort Loramie is going to have to contain the Raiders and their fast start. Those are our Keyhole Pizza keys to the game. Now it's time for Emerson Copeland starting lineups. And for the visitors from Fort Loramie, their starting lineups are going to consist of Logan Eilerman, Austin Plyman, Ryan Holscher, Caleb Maurer, and Ethan Kaiser. For the Russia Raiders, their starting lineups will be Hayden Quinter, Braylon Cordonier, Braden Monin, Zane Shappy, and Xavier Flippo. Again, those starting lineups courtesy of Emerson Copeland. Tanya, we got a fired up crowd here in the Claire C. Naveau Gymnasium.
It's formal night tonight, Craig.
I see that.
We don't have our suit and ties on, but the Raider fans are ready to go, and this is going to be a fantastic one.
And jumping at center circle are Caleb Maurer and Hayden Quinter, and it looks like Russia is going to control the tip. Senior point guard Zane Shappy will lead this Raiders offense as he has done for most of this season. With the ball now will be Xavier Flippo being guarded by Austin Plyman. Gets it off to Braid Monin. Over to Hayden Quinter on the right wing. He's being guarded right now by Ryan Holscher. Quinter drives into the paint, almost loses control of it. Shappy's going to back it up and start the offense over again. Monin with it being guarded by Logan Eilerman. Flippo now with it. It's going to take the three, and Xavier Flippo off the rim, no good. Rebound comes down to Caleb Maurer. Redskins on the break. And ball knocked out of bounds, and that will go back to the Russia Raiders.
Is that no call start the tone right there? I would have thought that would have been a foul, but that's what the JV game looked like. There was a lot of calls that...
A lot of contact on that one, yeah.
A lot of contact happened.
See if that dictates how this game is going to be called. Cordonier now going to drive in the paint. He loses control, but knocked out by a Redskin. And as we talked about in the pregame, I talked about our keys to the game, Tanya. The Fort Loramie Redskins have to make sure the Raiders don't get off to that fast start that they got off to in that first meeting. Up 16-0 in the first quarter, ended up 23-2, and Hayden Quinter starts it out with a bucket.
Yeah, Loramie's got to contain the Raiders and keep them out beyond the three and make them hit that hard shot. You know, maybe hit a shot from the corner and stop their dribble penetration.
Raiders trapping at the half court. Redskins easily out of it. Maurer now with the ball getting set for setting up this Redskin offense. All SCAL honorees were announced today. Caleb Maurer came in third in the voting. Player of the Year announced as Carter Plyman from Botkins. Second was Jace Mullenauer for the Jackson Center Tigers. Third, Caleb Maurer, and fourth was Hayden Quinter for Russia. The ball out of bounds. Russia will inbound it underneath their own basket, or excuse me, Fort Loramie will inbound it underneath their own basket.
One thing the Redskins have to control that they didn't in the first time that these two matched up was they took a lot of bad shots. The Raiders forced them to rush their shot and take shots they're not used to. So if they can, which right now I think we're seeing this, they're slowing down, looking for a good shot, and that slows the Raiders down as well because they want to run. They want to take off and go. They can get a low-scoring game. They've got a chance to stay in it. Yeah,
Russia with a very deep bench. Maybe Loramie not so much, not as deep as what the Raiders are, but we're 2 minutes into this first quarter, and Redskins have yet to score. And a missed shot attempt there by Caleb Maurer. Shappy with the ball for Russia. Gets it over to Quinter. Into the corner, Cardonier. Back up to Quinter. Quinter 23 feet from the basket. Gives it over to Monin. Flippo's going to drive into the paint. Gets past Plyman. Going to get a whistle and a foul. They're going to call that in the act of shooting.
Yep.
They certainly will. So Xavier Flippo is going to step to the free throw line. Flippo in that game, the last time Russia played last Saturday versus Ansonia, had 4 points in that contest, averaging almost 5 per game. It's a guy that's been starting for 4 years as he nails the first free throw to put Russia up 3-0.
I would say with Xavier averaging 5 points per game, the Raiders bench probably has multiple people averaging 4, 5, 6 points per game. That's probably the norm because I want to say the last time I saw those stats, there was an 11. Maybe Xavier was leading with 11 points.
Well,
was it higher than that?
Just two.
Hayden.
Yeah, 2 Raiders in double figures. Quinter at 13.5 and Cordonier at close to 11. But yeah, this is a very deep team. As you say, the scoring is spread out. A lot of players in that 5 to 8 point range. I'm sure we'll see some of those players come in here in a moment as Coach Cordonier likes to get his subs in at about this point of the ball game. But Fort Loramie with a turnover gives the ball back to the Raiders as they lead this game 4-0 as we close in on 5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Quinter with the ball, spins off and off the glass and in. So Quinter with 4 of the 6 Raider points right now. Russia with that 6-0 lead. You got to wonder if Corey Britton's worried about one of these slow starts again by the Redskins. They still haven't scored, and we're almost halfway through the first quarter.
I would say anytime you let the Raiders get a little bit of a lead,
Shappy's going to take the 3 from the corner. That's off the iron. No good. Ball knocked around. Down with it is Monin, and Braden Monin's going to put it back. And with that, Coach Corey Britton wants a precision strip timeout. We'll take it with him. Russia leads Fort Loramie 8-0 on NKTelco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County has a job for you. Grand Lake Health System has over 800 employees. Included is Joint Township District Memorial Hospital and multiple physician practices. And we're now hiring a variety of positions that fit all education and skill levels. Plus, you'll get a great benefit package offered to both full and part-time workers. Join this rewarding career and help your community in the process. Contact Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County for all your employment needs.
NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of tonight's high school varsity basketball action on NKTelco Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503. Replays of this game will be on Monday, March 6th at 5 p.m. and Saturday, March 11th at 8 a.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. So coming out of the precision strip timeout, it is 8-0 on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Fort Loramie with the ball. Kayla Maurer will walk it up the court as Zane Shappy picks him up three-quarter court. Kaiser with the ball, gets it off to Logan Eilerman. Eilerman in the corner, down low to Maurer. Maurer trying to get around Shappy and can't get the shot to go down. He's going to get a whistle and a Raider foul.
There's where I think one of the struggles of Fort Loramie's been this year is, a basket like that, Maurer wasn't sure where he was around the hoop. Eventually found out, but little shots like that or little turnovers here and there that they just clean up, they can be very dangerous.
And another Russia foul. This one going to go on Xavier Flippo. So a couple quick fouls by the Raiders and a quick substitution also for Russia a little earlier there as Vince Borchers now in the ballgame, a 6'1 sophomore. He replaces Zane Shappy. Typical substitution for Coach Cordonier. Maurer's 3 is no good. Rebound goes to Borchers. The Raiders with the ball and an 8-point lead at the 4-minute mark. Borchers now running the point for Russia, trying to get it to Quinter. Ball knocked around. Who's going to pick it up? There's going to be a tie-up with the ball. We're going to get a whistle, and we do. Going to get a jump ball. Possession arrow favors the Redskins.
Oh, no. We're getting a foul.
A whistle and a foul. Coach Cordonier not liking the call, throwing his hands in the air. It's another Russia foul. That one's going to go on Braden Monin.
It sure seems like the longer a jump ball situation goes on, somebody's going to pick up a foul, and just happened to be Braden Monin.
Redskins with the ball. Austin Plyman now working against Xavier Flippo. Gets it off to Ethan Kaiser, working against Hayden Quinter. Logan Eilerman facing Braylon Cordonier. Trying to get in, and another whistle. We're going to get another foul, another Raider foul. That one's going to go on Braden Monin. So Monin with back-to-back fouls. He's going to head to the bench, and replacing him will be Benjamin York. Also coming in will be Felix Francis. York, a 6'3 sophomore. Francis, a 6'5 junior. As, again, Braden Monin and Xavier Flippo both to the bench. We talked about Benjamin York in the pregame, and a guy that played junior varsity for the majority of the year, sat a little varsity, had 16 points on Friday night, and 14 points on Saturday night.
The one thing about Benjamin that he can offer to this team is, I hate to say this, but he's got really long arms. So as a defender, he can guard, which we saw, I want to say, against, I forget who it was. but he came in and replaced Zane or Braden. He offers that extra guard and maybe their best defender, or he becomes one of our best defenders because of that he can offer.
Yeah,
in addition to he can score.
That body type reminds me of Braylon Cordonier down low, who just scores another Raider bucket to put them up 10-0. Also, maybe a little reminiscent of Braden Monin, Felix Francis, just those long, lanky arms and legs. Rishi with a ball knocked out of bounds. Redskins going to keep it. Redskins with a substitution into the game is Aiden Worman, number 33 out there on the floor. He's a 5'11 senior and a guy that came into the season was injured for about 3/4 of the season, just starting to see some playing time.
That's very helpful when Isaac Ratterman went out for the season with his injury. So him coming back, gives them that extra body. But back to Benjamin York and their body type and body style. When you get in a trapping offense like the Raider boys like to do, that becomes very helpful.
Where's she going to pick up their 5th team foul now as Benjamin York picked up that one? And this Redskin team is loaded with seniors. 9 seniors in all versus 4 for Rushi. One of the seniors at the line, and Caleb Maurer. And Maurer's going to get his first point of the game and the Redskins' first point of the game.
Of what I understand, Maurer's 10 points away from going over the 1,000 mark, hitting the 1,000 mark. So that's a huge accomplishment, and he'll be forever in the Loramie record books with that.
Well, you got to figure he's going to get those 10 points tonight as he gets 2 from the charity stripe, and I'm sure when he does, we'll hear a roar from the Redskin crowd. So Raider lead trimmed to 8. Zane Shappy back in the ball game for Rushi as Hayden Quinter goes to the bench. York with it, gets it out to Borchers. Borchers from the free throw line is going to put up a shot, and he nails it. Vince Borchers, who averages 3.5 points per game, gets a bucket. He had 8 in that contest on Saturday versus Ansonia. Raiders back to a 10-point lead.
In about the last 3 weekends, you've seen Vince Borchers emerge as becoming a scoring, not a threat, but giving you an option. He needs at least look to shoot the ball, and he's doing that and taking good shots, which he's now started scoring some points.
Logan Idam are going to pick up the player control foul as he heads to the bench, and Austin Plyman back into the ball game. Zane Shappy doing a nice job of taking that charge. Those couple former teammates played a lot of spring and summer ball together for about 4 or 5 years. Rushi with the ball. Cordonier bringing it up the floor now. He gets down to the left block, and ball stripped out by Aiden Worman. Knocked around, and we're going to get another whistle. That foul's going to go on Cordonier. Hayden Quinter will come back into the ball game as Cordonier heads to the bench. I want to congratulate Braylon Cordonier as well. Was named to All-SCAL second team as a sophomore. Pretty nice accomplishment for Braylon. So Maurer bringing the ball up the floor, being picked up by the sophomore York, getting it out to Holscher. Warman now with it, being guarded by Shappy. Back up to Ethan Kaiser. Ethan Kaiser, a guy that can, you leave him open from behind the arc, he can nail the three. Had a game earlier this year, he had 8 3-pointers. Turnover by the Redskins. Quinter now with it, going to give it off to York, and we're going to get a whistle and an offensive foul, this time on Rushi. So Eilerman picked up an offensive foul for Loramie. This time Quinter picks up the foul. A lot of fouls here in this first quarter, Tanya.
We said, made the comment about setting the tone, and I would have thought that would have been a foul, and I don't agree with the referee on that one there, but I have no say. So we'll see here. One thing I've noticed on Loramie and the offense that they're running is we're seeing a lot of matchups where maybe a bigger man will go down and try to, I don't know if it's just them not making a great decision, but they're wanting to go out to the three-point line so much and not get underneath the basket. And Plyman, to me, should be on the block. And the last time down the floor, he kind of cut back out where, if I was him, he had Felix Francis. He had position on him, and he didn't take it. So, the more you play, the more understanding you get of the game and where you should be.
Yeah, Austin Plyman versus Felix Francis, a nice matchup. Both those guys 6'5". A 6'5" Plyman at the free throw line right now, and he nails the first one. Substitutions for Rushi as Flippo and Cordonier back in the ball game Francis will head to the bench. Kleiman with one more opportunity from the line. Doesn't get that one to go, so splits the pair. Fort Loramie, all of their points coming from the free throw line as we zero in at the end of this first quarter, under a minute now.
That miss broke up the perfection of at the line and how important foul shots come, especially at, we get towards the end of the game. And 7 for 8 is a great way to start a game.
Cordon, working on the left block against Kleiman. A couple moves on him, finally kicks it out to Shappy. A long three, he misses that one. Holscher with the rebound, and 25 seconds before this quarter's over. Werman now with it, working against Shappy. Hands it off to Holscher. Holscher in the corner. 14 seconds to go. Looking for a teammate, finally gets it to Maurer. 10 seconds to go. Maurer being guarded by the sophomore York. Backs it up with 6 seconds. What's Maurer going to do here? Gets trapped by a couple Raiders. Werman he's going to have to put up a shot. Finally hands it off to Maurer. He's not going to get that off in time, and that will do it for our first quarter. So after 8 minutes, it's Russia 12, Fort Loramie 3. We'll be back in a moment here on NKTelco Sports.
We are here, and here, and here. Minster Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Minster Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Unpack your potential with a career at Pratt Industries. Working at Pratt Industries is more than a job. It's a sustainable career.
Pratt Industries to me is a job. It's my career. It's the way I put food on my table, but I love what I do.
We offer competitive pay, excellent benefits, and opportunities for career advancement. To apply, visit careers.prattindustries.com.
It's Russia 12, Fort Loramie 3 here on NKTelco Sports. And Tanya watching the coaches talk during this quarter break, and Coach Corey Britton pretty animated with his players.
He is. He's wanting them to look for better shots and make better cuts. And they really just kept running. I don't know that there was any true aggression to go to the basket. And that's what he's wanting them to do. And he just wants them to compete. And that's all he expects out of his kids.
Russia with 5 different scorers in that quarter, being led right now by Hayden Quinter with 4 points. For the Fort Loramie Redskins, all 3 of their points coming for the charity stripe. Kayla Maurer with 2 and Austin Kleiman with 1. Redskins with the ball here to start the second quarter. Logan Eilerman gets it off to Holscher. Ball knocked around. A steal by Vince Borchers. All alone with it is York for the left-handed layup. Benjamin York gets in the scoring column. Raiders now up by 11 points, their largest lead of the ball game. Kaiser with it in the paint, going to put it up and off the glass. Ethan Kaiser with a nice layup gets Fort Loramie's first field goal.
That was a very nice move to the basket. He was aggressive and he went after it. So, nobody stepped in his way to try to stop him because he was going hard to the basket.
On top of it is Cordonier. Cordonier can make that shot from out there, pulls up at the free throw line and gets it. Braylon Cordonier, he can shoot it from outside. He also has a nice pull up there from the free throw line, that 15-footer.
Right. Him and Hayden are very dangerous that way because they can both shoot, but yet they can both get inside and go against those bigger guys because, they're a little bit bigger, 6 foot, 6'2", in that range. So they become a double threat.
Cordonier now with 4 points. Redskins with the ball. Eilerman in the paint, trying to go up over Cordonier and gets it to go down. Logan Eilerman with a nice bucket. Perhaps Fort Loramie heating up here.
Whatever Corey Britton said to him at half has got him fired up right now, so we'll see how the rest of this goes.
Substitution as Werman will head to the bench. Austin Kleiman back into the ball game. Kleiman had 7 points in that game on Tuesday versus New Bremen, that overtime win. So far just a free throw here tonight. 3 players in double figures in that New Bremen game. Maurer with 27, Kaiser with 16, and Eilerman with 11. And speaking of guys in double figures, Benjamin York with another
tough shot.
Bucket. Yeah, he had 16 on Friday, 14 on Saturday. York, just what you want to see when you're getting ready for tournament is just
his confidence level just keeps getting better and better and better. And as he made appearances in varsity games early in the year, when, playing all JV, you could see the difference. It was very different in the JV game and the varsity game of the shot selection that he took. And he's taken very smart shots when he's in the varsity games.
Coach Cordonier wants a precision strip timeout. It'll be a 30-second one, so we'll stay right here. Yeah, when Benjamin York was playing the junior varsity, he was the guy. He was the go-to guy, and so you focus on that go-to guy. He gets to the varsity here, and Rushie's got a whole roster full of go-to guys, and perhaps York getting maybe a few more opportunities to score. We saw it last weekend, just playing really well. And like I said, Coach Cordonier, got to be a pleasant surprise for him as we head into the postseason.
With Braden Monin with 2 fouls and having to sit on the bench, Coach Cordonier doesn't have to gamble and say, let's put him in for a couple minutes, try to get you as close to halftime as we can, then pull you out. Benjamin offers that ability just to replace him. Nobody is irreplaceable, but they all have they all complement each other really well. All their games they mesh really well together. Well, and there's Braden Monin in the game.
So Monin, back into the ball game and lob down low to York. He's against a couple Redskins and blocked by Plyman. Picked up by Holscher. Holscher gets it to Eilerman in the corner to Kaiser. Kaiser's going to dribble out on top. Back to Holscher. Holscher going to set up the Redskins offense. Fort Loramie trying to spread out this offense. Playing in the corners, and in the corner is Eilerman for a 3, and Logan Eilerman with a big three-pointer for Fort Loramie. He's got 5 in the quarter. Trims the Raider lead to 8 points. Monin in the lane goes to the ground. He's going to get whistled for the travel. Redskins finally with some momentum right now. They're outscoring Russia in the second quarter 7-6. Russia wanting to get a quick sub in as Hayden Quinter will come back into the ball game. Shappy will head to the bench. So Fort Loramie with the length of the floor to go here. We're 3 minutes into this second quarter. Redskins trying to get this thing close as we head towards the halftime break. Trapped at the half court. Maurer gets it out to Eilerman, on top to Kaiser. Ethan Kaiser, one of those 9 seniors for Fort Loramie. In the corner to Eilerman. Fort Loramie really spreading this offense out.
They're doing a great job, I say that, now they turn the ball over. But they just ran about a minute off the clock, it feels like, and they're slowing everything down and keeping this a low-scoring game. And the more they can do that and keep this down, the better chances they have to win. The Raiders want to run. I think we're going to see something's going to change. I think we're going to see some different kind of trapping, or something's going to happen, because the Raiders want to pick this game up. It's not fast enough for them. Takes them out of their element.
Missed shot there by Quinter, gets his own rebound, gets it out to Cordonier. Felix Francis down the floor for Russia. He replaced Benjamin York, and a turnover by the Raiders. Redskins with the ball. Maurer working it up the court. Spin move in the paint, getting it down low to Plyman. Going to try to go up over Xavier Flippo, and Austin Plyman gets the bucket. Plyman now with 3 points. And the 6'5" Plyman working against the 6-foot Flippo.
One difference being, though, you're not seeing Maurer or Holscher, and right now Werman's not coming off the floor. So the longer these kids are on the floor, the Redskins, they don't sub near like the Raiders do. They don't go near as deep. So they remind me of Ohio State, the Raiders do. The longer in the game you get, the more they can put you away because they just wear you down. So we'll see if that happens.
Well, Corey Britton must have heard you, because he did make a couple substitutions there.
Yes.
Darren Eilerman in the ballgame, as well as Maxwell Maurer. Missed shot there by Braylon Cordonier. Darren Eilerman, a 6'3" senior. Max Maurer, a 6'1" sophomore. He was the leading scorer, he was in the junior varsity game, as Caleb Maurer gets the bucket, and Coach Cordonier is going to want a precision strip timeout. We'll take it with him. It's Russia 18, Fort Loramie 14 on NKTelco Sports.
Are you looking for a rewarding career? Lincoln Electric Automation in Coldwater and Fort Loramie supplies top-of-the-line automation systems to manufacturers. Lincoln Electric Automation routinely develops its team through hiring and by offering advanced technical training. We understand that every employee matters, and every role contributes to the success of our business. We offer advancement opportunities, competitive wages, and benefit packages. Visit LincolnElectric.com and get on track to a better career and a better future.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
We're in a precision strip timeout here at Claire C. Naveau Gymnasium as Fort Loramie is outscoring Russia in this second quarter 11-6. I saw you peeking in on Coach Cordonier's talk with his team down there. What's he saying, Tanya?
I'm trying to see defensively what he's changing up a little bit, and what I'm thinking he was saying is he's wanting to pick them up more, backing off just a hair, because let's pick them up. We're not, either we've got to trap and try to get something full court, or we've got to back off and protect ourselves from a dribble penetration and dish out. So that's what I'm picking up on. I don't know if that's right or not, but we'll see.
Cordonier misses the little turnaround in the lane. Fort Loramie with the ball and down 4. Maurer with it in the corner to Maxwell Maurer. So Maxwell Maurer and Caleb Maurer, as you might imagine, brothers out there. Caleb a senior, Maxwell a sophomore.
Maxwell's a very good shooter, and I was surprised to see him playing as much JV as he did. So maybe he'll give a spark to these Redskins, but, I mean, they took it down to a 2-point game.
Caleb Maurer with the bucket there. He now has 6 to lead the Redskins. They trail by just 2. And we're going to get a whistle and a foul on Austin Plyman. Almost a Fort Loramie steal there, but that will be the 4th team foul for the Redskins versus 4th team foul versus 8 for Russia. Substitutions as Shappy and Felix Francis head to the bench. Benjamin York back in the ball game, as well as Vince Borchers. York with it, gets it to Borchers. Borchers looks to Coach Cordonier and what kind of offense he wants the Raiders to run. York at the free throw line, kicks it out to Borchers. Borchers looking for a teammate, gets it out to Quinter. Hayden Quinter with 4 points in the first quarter, has yet to score in the second. We've got a whistle, and not sure what that's for. The official will approach the scorer's table.
The clock wasn't either running right or
I believe they said
something, and then once he blew his whistle, then I'm wondering if the little thing can be sticky. The little trigger point that they have, because once he blew his whistle, all of a sudden then the clock started running. So I'm wondering if the trigger sometimes can get caught.
Okay, 2:50 is on the clock as Cordonier takes a 3. That goes in and out. Braylon Cordonier not able to get shots to go down here in this second quarter, taking good shots, just not falling. So Fort Loramie going to try to knot this game up. 2.5 minutes to go until the halftime break. Maxwell Maurer with the ball, gets it out to Darren Eilerman. Darren Eilerman picks up his dribble, gets it to Caleb Maurer. Maurer's going to take a long 3. That's partially blocked by York. I think that's going to stay with the Redskins.
Yeah.
So a couple of Raiders were around that ball, let it bounce out of bounds. They thought maybe Maurer was just short on his shot, but that was blocked. As Braden Monin comes back in the ball game for Braylon Cordonier. So Maxwell Maurer will inbound it underneath the Redskins basket. Gets it over to Kaiser, on top to Maurer. Redskins can take the lead with this basket, and that's off the front of the rim, no good. Foul on Darren Eilerman as he goes over the back of Braden Monin. Entering for Fort Loramie again will be Austin Plyman as Darren Eilerman heads to the bench. Russia desperately looking for a basket here right now. Just 6 points in the quarter after 12 in that first quarter. And down low with it is Flippo, his shot's blocked by Plyman. Redskins with the ball. Maurer in the break. Find it all alone. Kaiser underneath the basket. That ball rolls around the rim and out. Boy, Fort Loramie could have tied it up there and just blew that opportunity. Braden Mana now with it. Gets it to Borchers. Borchers drives baseline up and off the glass. And a nice layup by Vince Borchers. Borchers now with 4 points. Expands that Russia lead back to 4.
Xavier Flippo had a great seal in that situation right there. And as Vince Borchers got around his defender, he kind of cleared him out a little bit, which gave him a clear way to the basket. So great play by both.
Well, Fort Loramie certainly had a lot of momentum going there, Tanya.
Absolutely.
And that basket maybe thwarting that momentum a little bit. We'll see. Maxwell Maurer with the ball now. Drives into the paint. He loses control. Ball goes out of bounds. Whistle and a Russia foul. That will be team foul number 9, I believe.
Yes.
So 1-1 for Maxwell Maurer.
Waiting to see if Braden Monen's going to exit, which I'm guessing right there, because he's got 2 fouls, and so does Hayden Quinter. So hopefully with right at a minute left in the game.
Maxwell with just a couple points in that junior varsity game. Russia on the floor now with Felix Francis, Hayden Quinter, Xavier Flippo, Braden Monin, and Vince Borchers. Maurer one more opportunity from the line as he was fouled in the act of shooting. Gets that one to go down. Fort Loramie outscoring Russia 14-8 in the second quarter. Raiders with the ball, under a minute to play. Quinter down low with it on the baseline. Gets it out to Braidmon and over to Vince Borchers. He's got a lane to the basket. Picks up his dribble. Gets it out to Flippo. Back to Mon. And Russia looking for a good shot here. Certainly
running some clock and taking some time could only benefit the Raiders with Quinter and Monin with 2 fouls. Maybe we'll get us through, maybe get a basket and then contain them without picking up a 3rd foul.
So Flippo's going to pull it out with 20 seconds to go. Russia rotating that ball around the perimeter, setting up for this final shot as Quinter's going to set things up at center circle. 10 seconds to go here until halftime. Stick around for our halftime report. Ooh. And a turnover by the Raiders gives it to the Redskins. No, the Raiders have it again. Francis not able to get the shot off at the horn, but Russia is going to lead at the halftime break, 20-17. As I said, Tanya and I will be back with a halftime report here in a few minutes, so stay right there. You're listening to high school boys basketball on NKTelco Sports.
Whether you do business from a corner store or a corner office, there is one asset your business cannot do without: the internet. Everything from sales and marketing, training and shipping, PR, HR, and R&D, your business relies on a fast, reliable, and secure connection. And now, it's more important than ever to partner with an internet provider you can trust. Get Flight Fiber for Business, backed by local tech support from NKTelco. Call today.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital, with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
It's halftime here at the Claire C. Nouveau Gymnasium, where the Russia Raiders are leading the Fort Loramie Redskins 20-17. Prior to this, we had a junior varsity game, and in that one, Russia topped Fort Loramie by the score of 44-28. Leading the way for the Raiders in that junior varsity contest was sophomore Jackson Grosjean with 17 points, and for the Redskins, sophomore Ty Kemper had 14 points. I'd like to thank our sponsors for NKTelco that bring this varsity contest to you, and that is Keyhole Pizza, First National Bank, Precision Strip, Emerson Copeland, Carriage Works, Grand Lake Health, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric Automation, Minster Bank, Pratt Industries, New Knoxville Supply, Wagner's IGA, Wilson Health, Winners Meats, Jewelry Barn, and NKTelco. Additional sponsors include Burke Petroleum, Chiltex LLC, Cy Sweeterman Inc., Dickman Supply, Hometown Opportunity, Hulsman Automotive, Park National Bank, SecureCom, and St. Henry Bank. Again, the Russia Raiders leading at halftime 20-17, and after one quarter of play, it was Russia 12, Fort Loramie 3, but the Redskins outscoring the Raiders in that second quarter 14-8. Again, our halftime score 20-17, and we got a good one here for the final night of league play, Tanya.
Absolutely. Nothing better than Shelby County basketball on Friday night going down to the wire on who is actually going to be crowned the champion.
So you got the, we're looking at some scores across the county right now. The Botkins Trojans are leading Anna 14-6 at the end of the first quarter. And with Botkins picks up the victory, as we expect they will move to 7-5 on the season. Fort Loramie is 7-4 right now. So they want to pick up that win just to keep some distance there from the Trojans and maybe finish third. Regardless, if they get the win, they'll finish third all by themselves. But so again, the Russia Raiders up here by 3 points at halftime. For Russia, it looks like this. The Raiders have had 6 different players score. None of those players more than 4 points. You got Hayden Quinter with 4 points right now, Braylon Cordania with 4, Vince Borchers with 4, Benjamin York with 4, a couple Raiders with 2 as Braden Monin and Felix Francis both with 2 each. And then for the Redskins, they have had 5 different scores, being led right now by Caleb Maurer with 6 points, Logan Island with 5 points, Austin Plyman with 3, 2 for Ethan Kaiser, and 1 for Maxwell Maurer. And Tanya, these are 2 teams, a little surprising of a staff for me, not a single 3-pointer in that first half.
You know, you talk about when you shoot bad, you look bad. And in that second quarter, that's what happened with the Raiders. You know, none of the outside shots went in. Some of the inside shots didn't go in. It was just a bad shooting quarter for them. In addition, you see the Redskins, tend to have 1 or 2 that just busted, and, Ryan Holscher hasn't scored yet, and he tends to have a 3, or, Caleb Maurer and Maxwell Maurer, that tends to be his forte. But, this second half will probably be a little bit different. Everybody wants this. It doesn't matter. Loramie's not playing for a league championship, but there'd be nothing better in their minds than to knock off the Raiders on their home court the final weekend.
Yeah, that's for sure. And the both teams now out here getting warmed up for this second half, getting set to start here in about a minute and a half. If you're wondering what's coming up for a Saturday night, as both these teams are going to wrap up their league play, Saturday night, it's 5 games around the county, but the Russia Raiders, they will be hosting the Marion Local Flyers on senior night, the final game of the season for Russia. A lot of blue and gold going to be in the gym here tomorrow night. You and I will be calling that one again. Going to be an emotional night. Senior night always is.
Yes, it's always a fun evening. And fortunately, it's your last regular season game. You don't have to go on the road for your last regular season game. You got to finish up here at the Claire C. And Marion Local's ranked right now. The Raiders are ranked right now. So it promises to be a great game. So pack the house in blue and gold and let's go after it.
And for the Fort Loramie Redskins, this is their final game of the season. Here, they will get set after tonight for tournament play, and for them, that starts a little over a week from now. Next Saturday, February 18th, they will be taking on Covington over at Pickwa's Garbury Gymnasium. Russia will be over there on Thursday. They'll actually be playing Mississinawa Valley. I think the girls play, they open with Triad. Is that who?
As of the moment, should the Lady Raiders win on Saturday of a 4:00 game versus Triad over at Sydney High School, should they win, they will also play Thursday night. So the games have been shuffled around. So if the Lady Raiders win, the boys would play at 5:30 at Garbury Gymnasium over at Pickwa High School. the girls would then flip-flop with the 7:30 game. So it would be a 7:30 start over at Sydney High School versus the Bradford Railroaders.
We want to let our viewers know that all those girls' games at Sydney High School will be on NKTelco Sports. So if you can't make it over to the gymnasium, you can watch on NKTelco. Second half, starting here for Russia, Zane Chappie, Xavier Flippo, Braden Monin, Braylon Cordonier, and Hayden Quinter on the floor. For Fort Loramie, Ryan Holscher, Ethan Kaiser, Austin Plyman, Caleb Maurer, and Logan Eilerman. Xavier Flippo with the ball, working against Plyman, kicks it out to Hayden Quinter. Quinter with 4 points in that first half, gets over to Flippo, trying to get it down low, and a turnover by the Russia Raiders. Not how you want to start out the second half. Caleb Maurer walked the ball up the floor for the Redskins. Gets picked up by Shappy. In the corner with it is Ryan Holscher. As Tanya said, Holscher not able to score in that first half. We're going to get a whistle and a foul. That one's going to go on Zane Shappy. He's going to pick up his second foul. Rishi on the floor now with Zane Shappy with 2 fouls, Hayden Quinter with 2 fouls, and Braden Monin with 2 fouls. Braylon Cordonier with 1, Xavier Flippo with 1. Redskins' only player with 2 fouls right now would be Ryan Holscher. Holscher with the ball, working against Braden Monin. Holscher at the free throw line, picks up his dribble, looking for a teammate, gets it out to Kaiser's going to let a 3 go off the front of the rim, no good. Talked about how good of a three-point shooter Kaiser is. Neither one of these teams able to get a 3 so far in this ball game. Ball on the floor. Coach Cordonier is going to get a 30-second precision strip timeout. We'll stay right here in our timeouts coming from Precision Strip. The keys to the game in our pregame, they were sponsored by Keyhole Pizza. The scoreboard is sponsored by First National Bank. Starting lineups came to you from Emerson Copeland. Your Russia Live View sponsor there on your screen is a Jewelry Barn. And at the conclusion of this contest, Tanya will pick our NKTelco player of the game.
Right now, it's going to be the shiny girl in the front row in green.
Formal night here.
We've had no breakout players right now. And so somebody's bound to break up. The intensity level, in my opinion, for both teams, Loramie doesn't want that to happen. They want to keep calm and cool right where they're at. The Raiders need the intensity levels got to pick up.
And coming out of that timeout, we get a foul on the Redskins. That one's going to go on Ryan Holscher. I believe that will be his 3rd, and it will be. So Holscher's going to head to the bench. Maxwell Maurer will replace him. Raiders with the ball and a 3-point lead. We're 1 minute into the second half.
You know, the 6 quarters that a player is allowed each night makes a ginormous difference. You know, for someone like Maxwell Maurer, he played a lot of the JV game, and then now he's getting in a significant time in the varsity game. We're less than 2 minutes into this game, third quarter, and he's in the game already.
Yeah, that was reminiscent of Benjamin York, who used to maximize his 6 quarters as well. Xavier Flippo just scored his first basket here a little earlier to give Russia the 5-point lead. It is a lot. 6 quarters of play. A lot of basketball for a teenager. Plyman with it, working against Cordonier. Kicks it out. Maurer now with it, takes the 3. That's going to roll around again. Not either team to hit a 3 yet. Whistle and a Redskin foul. That one's going to go on Logan Eilerman.
To me, that was a frustration foul on his situation. You know, I felt like I'm not sure who had him boxed out. Maybe Xavier Flippo at that point, and he was frustrated because he couldn't get to the ball. But, you know, those kind of things, you know, they had a nice little run, and you don't want to see that fall for them.
And Hayden Quinter just muscles one up, something we've seen him do all season. Very strong underneath. Muscles that basket through for his 6th point. Russia now up by 7. I think the biggest lead Russia had tonight was 11 points, if I'm correct.
Mm-hmm.
Redskins with the ball. Plyman now working against Quinter. Off the glass, and Plyman, talk about strong work underneath the basket.
To me, that's what they need to do a lot of, and they're not getting the ball down on the block. That was maybe the 2nd time they had a muscle move.
And Cordonier's going to try it
right
underneath.
Back at it.
He gets it to go, so the scoring's starting to pick up here as Braylon Cordonier now has his 6th point. Tie for the team lead with Quinter.
Scoring is fun. We like to see scoring.
I agree.
We like to watch SEC football, not the Baltimore Ravens, who only scored 13 points.
Kaiser tries to score from the corner. That's no good, but rebound weak side from Eilerman. That ball's going to roll around and drop in. Logan Eilerman with the basket. He now has 7.
2 possessions where Logan Eilerman went to the basket hard, and that's fun basketball to watch.
Flippo's now going to work down low. Blocked by Plyman. The 6-foot Flippo going against the 6'5 Plyman. Pull-up floater in the lane from Maurer is no good. Monon's going to pick it up for the Raiders. Give it over to Cordonier. Cordonier thinks about a 3, gets in the corner. Monon thinks about it. He decides to dribble. Spin move on the block. Gets it up. Doesn't get the basket, but gets fouled by Maxwell Maurer. Braden Monon going to head to the free throw line.
Thought we might have a travel there. I thought maybe he took that extra little step and kind of hooked him a little bit, but he must have fouled before that happened. So
Braden Monon, the 3rd leading scorer on this team at 8 points per game, had 7 last Saturday versus Ansonia. Gets his free throw to go down for his 3rd point of the night. Substitution for Loramie as Darren Eiderman comes to the game, and for Rushi, Vince Borchers into the ball game. Loramie will send Austin Plyman to the bench, and for Rushi, Zane Shappy going to take a seat. Monon with one more opportunity gets that to go. So 2 for 2 for Braden Monon from the free throw line. Benjamin York's going to come in for Xavier Flippo.
His assignment's going to be to guard Caleb Maurer with Zane Shappy going to the bench. Or we're going to see Braden Monon. Which one? They're trying to decide who's taking him. There we go.
Both players looking at Coach Cordonier for some instruction on that one. As you said, they got it worked out now. Maurer to Kaiser. Kaiser looking for a screen, gets it knocked out. Ball on the floor loose. Borchers picks it up, tie up on the floor. Whistle.
There's the hustle the Raiders been looking for, that kind of play.
And officials look like they're going to discuss it here. Whistle the foul on the Redskins. That foul is going to go on Darren Eilerman. That will be the 4th team foul for Fort Loramie versus just 1 right now for Rushi at the halfway point of this 3rd quarter.
That intensity is what we need. The Rushi-Loramie girls game, the intensity level was high the entire game. We haven't seen that here yet. They're playing hard, but it's not intense. And that's going into tournament play. You need to see that.
I couldn't agree more, Tanya. As Borchers is going to go up off the glass. That shot's no good. Ball knocked around. Monon trying to pick it up. Cordonier finally picks it up. Cordonier gets it out to Monon, to Quinter. Quinter's going to drive in the paint, pulls up from the free throw line. Off the glass, no good. Gets his own rebound. York now with it on the fadeaway. Tough shot by the sophomore Benjamin York.
That's kind of his shot. He has a great fadeaway, and that's kind of his signature. That was a great possession. Vince Borchers went to the basket so hard. Unfortunately, he was blocked. Hayden Quinter was going to the basket. That was a more intense possession than we've seen all night.
The Redskins with the ball trailing by 9 now, and that ball's going to go off the fingertips of Darren Eiderman out of bounds. Coach Corey Britton frustrated right now as Raiders going to get a substitution. Shappy back in the ball game for Braden Monon.
Maxwell Maurer was wide open. I'm a little, are they told to run it so you have an open lane? But he was wide open. I thought for sure he was going to take that 3.
Rushi trying to get their lead back to double digits. Borchers gets a screen, gets it off to Shappy. Cordonier now working against, trying to get a screen from York. York with the ball. Rushi setting a lot of screens here in this offense. Screen after screen. York's going to take a 3. That's going to go off the front of the rim. No good. Rebound by Eilerman. Gets it out to Maurer. Again, not a single, 1 3-point. Logan Eilerman hit a 3. Apologies for that.
He did in the corner, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did he down in the corner over there by the...
Been saying for 10 minutes that there's no threes hit in this game, and people yelling at me on the TV screen as Maurer misses his shot.
I will say hello to Barb Cordonier watching this game at home, so I don't think she's yelling at you.
She's telling me, hey, Logan Eilerman hit a 3 in the first half, Craig. You forgot about that one. So Raiders with a 9-point lead. 2:16 to play here in this third quarter. Cordonier with the ball. Going to drive up and over Eitherman. A strong move there by Braylon Cordonier. Braylon now with 8 points. Russia gets that lead back to double digits at 11. Ryan Hosher with it in the paint, gets it out to Plyman. Plyman hands it off to Maurer. Maurer going to work against Shappy. Behind his back, trying to drive against Shappy. Very good defender. Maurer with a tough baseline jumper. Coach Corey Britton wants a timeout with that. We'll take it with him. Russia leads for Loramie 32-23 here on NKTelco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County has a job for you. Grand Lake Health System has over 800 employees. Included is Joint Township District Memorial Hospital and multiple physician practices. And we're now hiring a variety of positions that fit all education and skill levels. Plus, you'll get a great benefit package offered to both full and part-time workers. Join this rewarding career and help your community in the process. Contact Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County for all your employment needs.
We're in a precision strip timeout as the Russia Raiders lead the Fort Loramie Redskins 32-23, and Caleb Maurer with a tough baseline jumper there. Tanya, he now has 8 points in the ball game. I think you said in the pregame you thought he needed 10 to get his 1,000.
That's my understanding, and that was a super tough shot. He did a really nice job of connecting there, but Zane Shappy was playing great defense on him.
Get a whistle as the
clock malfunction.
Clock malfunction. Buzzer went off. We had a clock malfunction a little earlier. Got the Tebby family down there operating the clock. They do a wonderful job.
They do. It's a thankless job, that's for sure.
I think the officials got it worked out here. We're at the scores table. They're going to have a little discussion here with the scores. Well, we'll remind our viewers that NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of tonight's high school varsity basketball action on NKTelco Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503. If you want to watch replays of this game, they'll be on Monday, March 6th at 5 p.m. and Saturday, March 11th at 8 a.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. Everything worked out now on the clock. Raiders with the ball. And the 9-point lead. Braden Monin in the corner, going to get whistled for the travel. Must have drugged the pivot foot there. I didn't see it, but and we're going to get another officials timeout here. Both teams heading to their benches as one of the officials is back at the scores table trying to get things worked out.
They're not right. The scoreboards are different. This scoreboard must not be working. I think they put 142 back up there. And one's at 130, one at 140.
Yeah, 10-second differential on their two scoreboards up here.
There.
Well, if you're wondering what else is going on around the league in addition to ours, as we've said a couple times here, we've got the Jackson Center Tigers trying to finish the league at 11-1. They're over at Houston right now, and the Botkins Trojans playing over at Anna. And for Botkins right now, they're leading after the first quarter of play, 14-6. Haven't got any updates since then, but Botkins likely going to finish 7-5 on the season. And congratulations to their senior, Carter Plyman, who was announced as the SCAL Player of the Year today. Got a Player of the Year honor as well as a state championship, that senior. And Austin Plyman's going to get fouled by Xavier Flippo. Plyman will head to the free throw line. Plyman with a free throw back in the first quarter. He's got 5 points so far. Soft shooter's touch, but doesn't get it to drop. For Russia, they will bring Zane Shappy and Braylon Cordonier back to the ball game. It's actually just Braylon Cordonier as Benjamin York heads to the bench. Plyman with one more opportunity from the charity stripe. 6'5" senior. And he doesn't get that one to go either. Quinter with the rebound, gets it over to Zane Shappy. Russia with a 9-point lead. Closing in on the final minute of this third quarter. Braden Monon with the ball, being guarded by Ethan Kaiser. Gets it over to Cordonier, being guarded by Darren Eilerman. Shappy thinks about a three, being guarded by Caleb Maurer. Gets a screen. Plyman picks him up. Cordonier now with the ball. Russia just setting these, lots of screens here. Flippo gives one to Quinter down low. Finally, Russia gets the pick and roll. I thought they were going to get to work. Shappy's going to take a long three. That's off the iron. No good. Chase for the ball. And Flippo's going to get pushed by Austin Plyman. And when 6'5" Austin Plyman hits you, you know it.
When he hit him, he just, oh, man. You know, your momentum's taking you in. That's a big body to stop pretty quick. So, you know, he's trying to hustle, and unfortunately, he picked up the foul.
Well, Plyman will take his fouls and head to the bench. Logan Einerman back into the ball game. Raiders with the ball. 24 seconds to go here in this third quarter. We shoot a 9-point lead. We'll try to get this back to double digits as we head to the final frame. Looks like Russia perhaps holding the ball for the last shot. Flippo with it in the corner to Quinter. Quinter looking for Cordonier down low. Gets it on top to Shappy with 5 seconds in the paint. And his shot's going to be blocked by Maurer out of bounds. Russia will inbound it underneath their own basket with 3.2 on the clock. Not too much time to mess around with this one, Tanya.
I think might be what you want. You get a good shot when you take an out-of-bounds play, especially with 3.2 left, but not that pass.
Monowither going to take a long three. That's going to not even touch the rim, and that's going to be it for the third quarter. So Russia leads Fort Loramie 32-23. We'll take a short break and be back with the final 8 minutes of play next on NKTelco Sports.
We are here, and here, and here. Minster Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Minster Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Unpack your potential with a career at Pratt Industries. Working at Pratt Industries is more than a job. It's a sustainable career.
Pratt Industries to me is a job. It's my career. It's the way I put food on my table, but I love what I do.
We offer competitive pay, excellent benefits, and opportunities for career advancement. To apply, visit careers.prattindustries.com.
So after 3 quarters of play, Russia leading Fort Loramie 32-23 here on NKTelco Sports. Russia outscoring Fort Loramie in that third quarter 12-6. And as we get this fourth quarter started, Fort Loramie on the floor with Ryan Holscher, Caleb Maurer, Logan Eilerman, Austin Plyman, and Ethan Kaiser. For Russia will be Hayden Quinter, Xavier Flippo, Braylon Cordonier, Zane Shappy, and Braden Monon. Fort Loramie with the ball to start out this fourth quarter. Fort Loramie trailing by 9. And if they have another quarter like they had in the second, Tanya, they can get right back in this ball game.
You know, the Raiders don't want to see every other quarter a good quarter, bad quarter.
Logan Eilerman with it, gets to Kaiser. A whistle before Kaiser's shot. Foul's going to go on Austin Plyman. Going to pick up his third foul. So Plyman with 3 fouls. Ryan Holscher with 3 fouls. Redskins so far have only gone about 2 deep on that bench. Maxwell Maurer and Darren Eilerman, Darren Eilerman on the bench. Hayden Quinter's going to take a three. That's short. Russia just not able to dial it in from long range here tonight.
Maybe part of that is, with the injuries, they're still trying to get their legs and, you try to get your sea legs back, and then that's where your shots take a little hit.
Ryan Holscher gets his first basket of the ball game. Braylon Cordon are going to get whistled for dragging his pivot foot. So we talked about the pregame and the big three, Caleb Maurer, Ethan Kaiser, and Logan Eilerman. So far, Russia done a fine job containing those three. Kaiser with it, gets it to Eilerman, over to Maurer. Maurer looking for a screen from Eilerman, rolls the basket, and ball's going to go out of bounds, knock off one of the Raiders, maybe Zane Shappy. Maurer to inbound it in front of that Russia Elementary student section. On top to Holscher. Such a neat scene up here in the Crow's Nest. Looking at that Russia crowd, you got the high school students on the right, the elementary students on the left. Creates a neat atmosphere at Claire C. Naveau. Maurer up off the glass, can't get it to go. Tried to draw the foul from Quinter, tries to get the stick back. That's no good either. Hayden Quinter with the rebound. Missed opportunity for Caleb Maurer, and what we think maybe is his 1,000th point.
The class of 2025 will get the option to choose what the new seating arrangement will be like when we move over to the new facility in 2 seasons. So who knows? This is not better atmosphere than this.
Russia comes up empty on that possession, and a tie-up. Going to get a Raider foul. A foul will go on Hayden Quinter. That's his 3rd team fouls right now for Russia. They've got 3. Fort Loramie has got 6. Raiders in the bonus. Maurer brings it up the floor, picked up by Shappy, gets it over to Ryan Holscher, being guarded by Braid Monin. Double team as Flippo gets in on. And a whistle, and that was going to get a timeout from Coach Corey Britton. Going to be a full timeout from Coach Britton, a precision strip timeout. We'll take it with him. Russia leads Fort Loramie 32-25 on NKTelco Sports.
Are you looking for a rewarding career? Lincoln Electric Automation in Coldwater and Fort Loramie supplies top-of-the-line automation systems to manufacturers. Lincoln Electric Automation routinely develops its team through hiring and by offering advanced technical training. We understand that every employee matters, and every role contributes to the success of our business. We offer advancement opportunities, competitive wages, and benefit packages. Visit LincolnElectric.com and get on track to a better career and a better future.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
Russia comes in to tonight at 10-1 in the SCAL. Fort Loramie at 7-4. Raiders trying to get their first share of the Shelby County Athletic League Championship since 2018. That season, Tanya, they tied with Anna and Fort Loramie for the title.
Tonight, they went on a really good stretch. We went up 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And actually, I was having a conversation with my chiropractor this morning, who happens to be a Jackson Center alumni, and he showed me a picture of their banner, and I don't believe they've won the league since 2013. However, they've had, in the last 10 years, 5 times they've been district champions. So that shows you how tough our league is. But once you get out of our league area, you can have some success. So we're fortunate that we get split up when we go over to Piqua to be able to hopefully send 2 teams down to UD Arena to play.
At Jackson Center with the 1 seed in that tournament draw, and Russia with the number 2 seed. Actually, Shelby County with all 4 of those seats. Austin Plyman all alone underneath the basket. He gets 2. All of a sudden, the Raider lead trimmed down to 5. Austin Plyman now with 7 points. Fort Loramie outscoring Russia in this fourth quarter, 4-0 so far. Raiders with the ball. Flippo with the screen for Shap in the corner all alone. Flippo's going to get it, and he nails it. So Russia hits their first three-pointer at a great time as Fort Loramie trimmed that Raider lead down to 5. Russia gets it back to 8.
And I'm not sure what the shooters that the Raiders have on the floor right now that we thought it would come from Xavier Flippo.
Well, Russia's got a lot of shooters that can hit that three. You're right, though. I wouldn't have guessed it came from Flippo. A long three from Ryan Holscher. He hit that one from Busher's Market. That was a long one.
They're still down there.
So Holscher, who's held scoreless the first 3 quarters, has 5 in the fourth quarter. Redskins with the ball. Kaiser's going to try a 3 of his own. Lets it go. He nails it. So back-to-back 3-pointers for the Fort Loramie Redskins. All of a sudden, the Raider lead is down to 2. 4 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. All of a sudden, we've got a game.
Maybe I made the mistake saying this game needs to pick up.
Redskins now with 3 3-pointers. Shappy's going to get fouled by Caleb Maurer. Redskins are in the bonus, so Zane Shappy will head to the free throw line for the 1-and-1. Yeah, some of the excitement we were lacking here most of the night, all of a sudden now starting to get fired up as Zane Shappy, the senior, gets the first of 2 attempts to go down. Kind of what you want out of your seniors, isn't it?
Absolutely. If you can connect from the line towards the end of the game, that's going to cost you the game. And, you know, Zane's been a great leader for these last 4 years, and it'll be sad when he's not in a Raider uniform anymore. But he's got great leadership, and he'll carry this team through the tournament run.
4 years varsity player, Zane Shappy. Redskins trail by 3. Kaiser up and off the glass with a left-handed layup. All of a sudden, Ethan Kaiser heating up. He now has 7, 5 here in the fourth quarter, and we got a tie ball game, 35 all. Or excuse me, sorry, a 1-point ball game. Raiders 36, Redskins 35. Cordonier with it in the paint, turnaround on Plyman, bumps him, kicks it out to Shappy, thinks about a 3. He gets in the paint, puts it up, and a whistle before the shot. He's fouled on the floor. Zane Shappy going to head back to the free throw line. That foul's going to go on Austin Plyman. He's going to pick up his 4th.
Fort Loramie right now is doing a great job of keeping the Raiders out around the perimeter. So in that situation, they have a very nice job of getting around that, getting around his defender, and, you know, got fouled.
Shappy not able to get the first free throw to go down, so Raiders up by 1. Redskins with the ball. Maurer puts a shot up from the elbow. He nails it, and the Redskin crowd gets up. They're cheering wildly as Maurer gives Fort Loramie the 1-point lead, 37-36, and for Caleb Maurer, that was his 1,000th career point. Coach Britton calls a timeout. With that, it's a full timeout. We'll take it with him. You're listening to high school boys basketball on NKTelco Sports.
Whether you do business from a corner store or a corner office, there is one asset your business cannot do without: the internet. Everything from sales and marketing, training and shipping, PR, HR, and R&D, your business relies on a fast, reliable, and secure connection. And now, it's more important than ever to partner with an internet provider you can trust. Get Flight Fiber for Business, backed by local tech support from NKTelco. Call today.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Well, for senior Caleb Maurer, Tanya, no better time to pick up your 1,000th career point than to give your team a 1-point lead against the Russia Raiders.
Absolutely. Congratulations to Caleb and good luck to him. And then his tournament run in. You know, if he decides to go play in college, I've been seeing things about how he has not been recruited yet and that he's a good one to pick up. I think I read that on Twitter the other day, so good luck to him.
Redskins outscoring the Raiders here in this fourth quarter 14-4. And reminiscent of that second quarter, as we talked about a little earlier. Good quarter, bad quarter. Cordiner up and off the glass. He's not going to get the shot to go. There's going to be a foul on Cordiner. He's going to head to the free throw line, but this is
that's a good call.
2 possessions in a row now where Russia gets the shot to go down, but the foul committed before the shot was taken. Cordiner at the free throw line. Second leading scorer in this team at 10.7 per game. He's got 8. Substitution, Darren Eilerman's going to head back to the bench. Austin Plyman back on the floor with what I believe is 4 fouls. Cordiner's first one off the front rim, the back rim, and nice shooter's touch there by the sophomore. Cordiner had 13 points on Saturday versus Ansonia. And that shot no good, so tied up 37-all, 2.5 minutes to go in regulation. Caleb Maurer with the ball after just scoring his 1,000-point drives up against York. Nice defense there by the sophomore.
Very nice.
Benjamin York really stepping up his play here these last 3 ball games for the Russia Raiders. Shappy with it, gets it to Braden Monin. Monin getting to the paint, spin move on Kaiser, out to Shappy. Shappy being guarded by Maurer, trying to get it down low, and Ryan Holscher's gonna have it go off his fingertips. Substitutions as Hayden Quinter back in the ball game for Russia. Darren Eilerman for the Redskins. Austin Plyman will head to the bench for Fort Loramie, and for Russia, Xavier Flippo to the bench. Russia will inbound it underneath their own basket. 1:58 to go here in the ball game. Quinter with it, working against Holscher. It's out to Monin. You got to wonder if Coach Cordiner likes that matchup, Quinter on Holscher.
Oh, I was wanting him to go to the basket there.
Shappy's long three is no good. That's going to go off a fingertip. No, Cordiner picks it up. Nice save there by Braylon Cordiner. Quinter now with the ball, trying to drive the basket. Tough shot by the junior. That's no good. Maurer with the rebound. Down to Plyman. He's going to walk with the ball. That was Logan Eilerman that got called for the walk. Plyman on the bench. Coach Cordiner quickly getting in a substitution as Xavier Flippo back in the ball game. Playing maybe a little offense-defense here. York on the bench.
Well, Xavier Flippo is a better with Xavier Flippo and Austin Plyman in the game, they've got to have Xavier or someone else to be able to guard them.
And Flippo with the assist from Shappy gets the bucket and gives the Raiders a 2-point lead. Flippo now with 7 points. As we close it on a minute to play. Kaiser with it for the Redskins. Gets the ball knocked out by Quinter. That ball's going to go out of bounds. We're going to get a precision strip timeout. We'll keep it right here. Tanya, all of a sudden this game just very exciting. 3 quarters of a lot of yawning, and now we got an exciting ball game.
Typical Russia Loramie game. This is what we expected it to be. We didn't expect a 20, 25-point game like I think it was 17 maybe over at Loramie back early in January. But this is, your typical backyard rival. It's exciting. This is the way it should end.
Both teams in their precision strip timeouts here. I want to take the opportunity to thank our additional sponsors tonight: Burke Petroleum, Chiltex LLC, Cy Sweeterman Inc., Dickman Supply, Hometown Opportunity, Hulsman Automotive, Park National Bank, Securcom, and St. Henry Bank. Make sure you stick around for the conclusion of this ball game. Tanya and I will have all your final stats as well as your NKTelco player of the game. Both teams breaking the huddle for Fort Loramie. They will head out there with Ethan Kaiser, Caleb Maurer, Austin Plyman, Logan Eilerman, and taking the ball out of bounds will be Ryan Holscher for the Raiders, you got Xavier Flippo, Braylon Cordonier, Zane Shappy, Braden Monin, and Hayden Quinter. The typical starters for the Russia Raiders.
Both teams have one timeout left.
Team fouls right now, the Raiders with just 3, the Redskins with 9. Redskins with the ball, under a minute to play now. Trailing by 2. Holscher with it, being guarded by Braden Monin. Looking down low for Maurer, can't find him, gets it on top to Kaiser. Eilerman now with the ball, working against Cordonier. 40 seconds to go. Eilerman trying to drive, getting down low to Plyman, up and off the glass, but shot's no good. Russia with the ball, Quinter now with it. 30 seconds, he goes to the hole, blocked by Eilerman. Plyman with it, ball knocked out. Trying to save it is Shappy, and we got a scrum, a whistle, and a foul by Corey Britton. Was that a timeout by Britton? What was the whistle there? Fort Loramie had them 2-on-1.
Timeout.
One of the officials was pointing at the Russia crowd. I don't know if he was pointing where the timeout was called or not.
I think he's pointing where the timeout was called, indicating it was, by the time I see it, my brain tells me to blow my whistle. You're about a second in there. That amount of time the ball can be passed up the floor. So many times we see this and people get angry, but we do have to remember it does take a second to get you to blow your whistle.
Well, Fort Loramie had Russia 2-on-1. Had to think they had the advantage there, heading to the basket, trailing by 2. And Coach Britton didn't offer any kind of argument, so well aware that timeout was called. Redskins will have the ball, 23.4 seconds left on the clock. They're trailing by 2 here, 39-37. Kaiser inbounds it to Maurer. Caleb Maurer with 10 points, hit his 1,000th point here tonight in the final game of the regular season for the Redskins. Holscher gets it to Kaiser. Kaiser working against Quinter. 10 seconds to go. Maurer now with the ball, double teamed by a couple Raiders, looking for a teammate, trying to find Plyman down low. 4 seconds. Ball blocked by Braylon Cordonier. A nice block there by the sophomore. A clean block.
Whoa. In that scenario up there, when Caleb Maurer was getting trapped, and the Raiders could have went for a steal there, and if they got fouled, then big deal, because then you're still up 4. But that's hard to remember and where you're at, and does he throw a shot up, then stupid things happen. And
Russia now with 6 players on the floor. They sent Felix Francis in the ball game. I thought Quinter was coming out. They were standing out there with 6 players.
I'm so confused.
We got a precision strip timeout here. We'll take a quick one with them. Russia leads Fort Loramie 39-37 here on NKTelco Sports.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement. We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital, with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
Well, we've got a fantastic finish here on NKTelco Sports. Russia leads Fort Loramie 39-37. Russia playing for a county championship. Redskins with the ball, trailing by 2, 3.1 to go, Tanya.
Oh, boy. A lot can happen in 3.1 seconds.
Aiden Moorman in the ball game, inbounding underneath the basket, finds Eilerman down low. He can't get the shot to go off, and York picks it up, and that's going to do it. So Russia is going to pick up the 39-37 victory and the county championship. and they found their player underneath the basket. Logan Item underneath the basket.
Wow.
And Rushi with just good defense.
Wow, that was, is it a situation where the referees don't want to affect the end of the game and just let it play out? That's what it looked like to me. I thought definitely there was a foul. Probably there wasn't. They didn't call it. So great hard-fought battle by both teams, and I wish both of them luck in the tournament. It's going to be an exciting run for Shelby County.
Now, what a finish show for Rushi, their first county championship since 2018.
That's so exciting. And actually, on my Facebook post the other day, came up when we beat Fort Loramie here in 2014, and the student section rushed the floor, and everybody's jumping around. It brings back a lot of great memories.
Well, we do want to thank our sponsors here tonight for bringing this contest to you. They are Keyhole Pizza, First National Bank, Precision Strip, Emerson Copeland, Carriage Works, Grand Lake Health, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric Automation, Minster Bank, Pratt Industries, New Knoxville Supply, Wagner's IGA, Wilson Health, Winners Meats, Jewelry Barn, and NKTelco. These Raider fans, these Raider students, fired up.
The high school students are still in the stands. It's like they don't want to go home. Like they want to celebrate some more, because this doesn't happen very often. And you look up at the banner and there's 4, 16, 17. This makes the 18th victory, Shelby County championship that the Raiders have had. And, like I said, I was talking to my chiropractor. He went back I think it was back to 1923, and Jackson Center, I think, had only won it like 13 or 14 or something like that. And, we talked about how hard it is in our league, and especially to play each other twice. Had this conversation a lot. But this was an exciting game, and I'm so happy for the Raiders and Coach Cardonier and the students, because it's fun.
Well, if we look at the quarter scoring here tonight, after one quarter of play, it was Rushi 12, Fort Loramie 3, and then the Redskins outscore the Raiders in the second quarter 14-8. Our halftime score was Rushi 20, Fort Loramie 17. The third quarter, Rushi back on top, 12-6. That fourth quarter, Loramie came alive again, outscored Rushi 14-7. But as we know, all that matters is that final score. It was Rushi 39, Fort Loramie 37. If we look at individual scoring for the Fort Loramie Redskins, they were led by their senior Caleb Maurer with 10 points, a little off his average, but congratulations to the senior for scoring 10 points, because he got his 1,000th point with that 10 points. Next, it was Ethan Kaiser with 7 points, Logan Eilerman with 7 points, and Austin Plyman with 7 points. Ryan Holscher had 5 points, and Max Maurer had 1 point. For the Rushi Raiders, they were led by sophomore Braylon Cordonier with 10 points. Then you had Hayden Quinter with 6 points. It was 4 points each for Braden Monin and Vince Borchers, 2 points for Felix Francis, and 1 point for Zane Shappy. Tanya, now it's time for our NKTelco player of the game, and who are you going to pick?
Tonight I'm going to pick Braylon Cordonier, scoring 10 points and having a huge block towards the end of the game, and good defense on Eilerman at the end. So my NKTelco player of the game is Braylon Cordonier.
All right, well, Fort Loramie will wrap up their regular season schedule with an overall record of 16-6. They will finish 7-5 in the final SCAL standings. That 7-5 record gives them a third-place finish in the league, which will tie them with the Bakkens Trojans for third place, who topped Anna tonight. Next up for the Redskins is a sectional tournament date next Saturday versus Covington at Pickles Garbery Gymnasium. And for Rushi, they will improve to 19-2 overall. The Raiders also wrap up their SCAL schedule with a final record of 11-1, and that mark will give them a share of the SCAL championship with the Jackson Center Tigers, who finished 11-1 tonight as well after topping Houston. For Rushi, tonight's league title, again, it marks their first SCAL championship since that 2017-2018 season when they shared it with Anna and Fort Loramie. All that season, all those three teams, they all finished 10-2. But the Raiders have one more non-league game left on their regular season schedule. That takes place tomorrow night right here at the Claire C. Nouveau, hosting the Maryland Local Flyers. You and I will be back for that one.
That should be a good one, Craig. And again, congratulations to Caleb Maurer on his 1,000th point. And tomorrow night, if you can't make it out to the gym, please listen to us and watch the game. So hopefully we're entertaining.
Yeah, senior night tomorrow night. A lot of emotion here at the Claire C. Nouveau.
Just a reminder, it's a late late start tomorrow night. So the JV game won't get started till 6:30, so you probably won't see us on till closer to 8 o'clock.
All right, well, that will wrap it up for us tonight for a final time. Russia defeats Fort Loramie 39-37. Hope you enjoyed NKTelco's broadcast of high school boys basketball. Thanks for tuning in. And from Russia Local School, I'm Craig Fissinger. For my broadcast partner, Tanya Hanlon, saying good night, everyone.